New at 5:30 tonight, a special report on a little-known county practice that some critics say amounts to buying silence of vulnerable crime victims.
Women who have been sexually assaulted by sheriff's deputies are offered cash settlements in exchange for a promise not to sue the county. 17's Ann DeGrazia has been looking into this practice, and she joins us in studio tonight with the story. Annie?
Tammy and Jim, county officials say the payments are a legal, legitimate way for all parties to put a bad situation behind them. Some of the people involved, however, think there's a more cynical side to payoffs. I spoke with all sides. By the way, it's our policy to not identify the victims of sexual abuse, so some of the names in the story are fictitious. Some of the video used in the story comes from depositions in civil cases. And a caution, some of the topics are not suitable for children. Mackenzie will never forget the day Sheriff's Deputy Gabriel Lopez touched her.
He had me get undressed and he fondled my breast.
Mackenzie was 18 and a new mother when she called the Sheriff's Department to intervene in a dispute with her mom.
My son was crying in his playpen while all of this was happening, and he didn't even care.
She was stunned, shocked, but didn't know what to do until she heard Lopez was accused of doing the same thing to other women. She filed a report, and a few weeks later, she heard a knock at her door.
Several sheriffs and a bunch of other people who came to my house, and they asked me if I'd be willing to settle the case.
She hadn't even filed a case or thought about suing. She was merely reporting a crime. They offered her $5,000.
Very intimidated, very pressured. I felt like if I said no, that I was going to get bombarded by all angles.
She signed a paper giving up her right to sue Kern County, settling for a fraction of what many other victims receive.
They looked like they walked away with $1 million, and thinking of it now, they probably did. I did not live in a nice home. We were very poor.
So who made this deal with Mackenzie? It was the Kern County Sheriff's Office Civil Litigation Coordinator, Michael Mahoney.
Trying to negotiate settlement for any potential claim against Kern County Sheriff's Office.
It's a way of protecting the county and Sheriff's Office from lawsuits. And according to Mark Nations, Assistant County Counsel, there's nothing wrong with it.
And the federal courts have said that it is legal and ethical to negotiate a compromise with somebody under those circumstances, provided that it is voluntary, it is informed, and it is deliberate.
Victims can't be coerced, but the county's closer can give them a hard sell. As Mahoney describes negotiations in a different case involving Deputy Lopez.
She came back with $10,000. I said that's still above, I think the commander offered $7,500. And she says that sounds fair.
Bartering, dickering over the dollar value of a sexual assault.
The county knows that when they settle with these victims directly, the compensation isn't fair.
Plaintiff's attorney David Cohn says for the county, it's business as usual, and the women are just numbers.
In no way, shape, or form is the method that they used involving these 3 victims ethical.
He's talking about the victims of Gabriel Lopez, a former deputy now serving 2 years for crimes against women.
The deputy may have assaulted 3 individuals.
And Lopez's victims aren't the only ones. In 2009, Karen Frye was serving time at Lerdo Jail, where she was assaulted several times by detention's deputy, Anthony Lavis.
Lavis was able to put his hands down Karen Frye's pants.
Less than 24 hours after being assaulted, Frye was taken to sheriff's headquarters on Norris Road, greeted with lunch from Chipotle and civil litigation coordinator Matthew Echeverry. He offered her $1,500.
Did you think it was a fair number?
I suppose.
Frye signed this paper, settling. All the money going on her inmate commissary account, recycling some of the funds back to the county.
She was clearly under duress, and in essence, the Sheriff's Department attempted to take advantage of her.
She said she understood.
But the law states such an arrangement is presumed fraudulent if the release is executed within 15 days after the commencement of confinement or prior to the release. whatever occurs first.
Had I been informed of that, I'm certain I would have taken that under consideration.
Cohn represented Frye in court and was able to get the Chipotle lunch agreement set aside and settled the case for $300,000.
That's a far cry from the $1,500 that they were offering her to settle her case.
Alliance Against Family Violence and Sexual Assault CEO Louis Gill says timing is important.
I would not recommend that they make any long-term decision of magnitude without some time to heal, which is more than just a few days.
For these women, a lawyer was never present when they were asked to settle. Nations says it was by choice.
You're giving up a chance to sue the county. They're told that if they want to consult with a lawyer, they can.
Mackenzie says she didn't realize what she signed until she heard Deputy Lopez went to jail.
There's nobody there for you. It's just a bunch of people shoving things at you, telling you things that you don't understand, especially when you're that young.
She was paid to stay quiet.
You know, they take advantage of not only where you are in life, but also what happened to you. They take that and they use it against you. And it just makes the whole thing worse.
Again, we emphasize these payments, although controversial, are legal. In the newsroom, Andrea Grazia, 17 News.